Well, I think it's very important for us to let the voters be able to have their opportunity to vote just as soon as possible.
While state Democrats want a transportation package on the May ballot, Republicans are pushing to keep the vote in November. The battle underway that's also halting important funding. Plus,
as long as it's for good, I guess, more importantly, yeah. If it's preserved and it's here for everyone, that's the most important thing.
Interested in buying a waterfall? Well, you have to outbid the state of Oregon, how much they're planning to put down.
and if you have a fear of heights, like me, then you might want to look away. Two people hanging from a cell phone tower after their, what did I say, guys? Hot air balloon got caught. The daring rescue to get them down.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. Rod Hill, Chris McGinnis. What did I say earlier, gentlemen?
You don't like hot air balloons.
We're talking about the Tulip Fest. Yep. Yeah. Keep me on the ground.
To be fair to Tulip Fest,
it's not that, I know.
And to the Balloon Fest in Tigard, I don't think there's any 1,000-foot radio towers around them, so
well,
you got that going for you.
You get a strong gust of wind, Rod, you never know.
I'm assuming they had good cell service to call for help.
Oh,
I'm assuming.
Rodney
Or if they
Hill.
didn't, then that's a really bad cell carrier, right?
Well done.
Here's a look at our Salem sky. We're assuming that story ends up on a good note, so we're having a little tongue-in-cheek with it. Here's our Salem sky camera. Cloudy skies. That looks dry. 50 degrees. Good grief. It is a mild start. Cloud base looks a little darker here, looking for the Wells Fargo building off to the southeast. We're at 48 again. We do have scattered reports of sprinkles or a touch of light moisture falling from the low cloud deck. But overall, we think this is just a cloudy day. 52 degrees. We will start a more realistic shower chance later this afternoon. There will be likely rain coming in overnight tonight and pretty wet tomorrow morning. But for now, it's pretty quiet out there. Chris?
Rodney, thank you for that. Let's take it to I-205. Photojournalist Eric Patterson zipping right along. Let's see, he's coming up on the SR 500 exit here. Yeah, there we go. He's heading northbound on I-205. Obviously, the southbound commute's a little busier at this hour of your Tuesday morning drive, as is the I-5 south commute. That is slow and steady through North Portland to the tune of about 20 minutes now to get you in from Main Street south of the Fremont Bridge. Elsewhere on the freeway system, traffic building, but not too terribly bad just yet. Let's hope it doesn't get there. There's Highway 26 out near Murray Boulevard. Traffic, again, getting busier, but so far no major issues on that side of town. Door number 3, that was Eric Patterson's shot, and he's about ready to exit. Good for him. We're in pretty good shape on the freeways, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. When the Oregon legislature, lawmakers approved a controversial plan to hold a vote on a transportation package in May.
The idea here is sparking legal threats. Republicans want to vote to happen in November when voter turnout is higher. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joining us now with more details on this plan. Thomas.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, lawmakers passed Senate Bill 1599 on Monday, which creates a timeline for when Oregonians would vote on higher taxes, all to fund the Oregon Department of Transportation. Now, under this bill, there would be a 6-cent gas tax hike along with other fees meant to fill ODOT's more than $200 million shortfall and avoid hundreds of layoffs. It's expected to generate around $4.3 billion over a decade. The Republicans want voters to have a say on the new tax. Last year, they gathered hundreds of thousands of signatures to put an anti-tax referendum on the November ballot. Though Democrats want that vote to instead happen in May. They say that would give voters an earlier chance to give their opinion.
The sooner that we have clarity from voters, if they approve of the transportation package, the sooner we can get people to work fixing our roads and bridges and potholes. And if they don't approve, the sooner we get to work figuring out a budget that will actually work for everybody.
They don't believe that. None of them believe that that's the reason. They know this is a loser for them. The only reason they're moving this is because they don't want it on the ballot in November.
Governor Gina Kotek signed the bill yesterday, but this fight here is far from over. Republicans plan to challenge this in court in a final attempt to move the vote to November. And if this vote does end up happening in May, it'll be a scramble for elections workers to make sure voters get voting pamphlets on time and have the information they need to be informed on this issue. Still, Secretary of State Tobias Reed says his workers will work to ensure all voters are informed and have all the information that they need. Matthew, China.
Thomas Schultz reporting live. Thomas, thank you. And taking a look at some important dates to know ahead of the May primary, the deadline to register is April 28th. Ballots will be mailed out the next day on April 29th. May 19th is primary election day, and the final results will be certified on June 15th.
Meanwhile, Oregon lawmakers are looking into regulating data centers, more specifically blocking new data centers from tax breaks for a year. The governor has been looking to expand what's called the Enterprise Zone program, which is meant to both grow Oregon companies and attract new investments to the state. But some worry that these incentives going to data centers isn't the right move in the long term.
And I think the question becomes, do we want to have stick to our climate goals, getting to 100% renewable, or do we want to have these big mega data centers owned by big tech companies that are some of the most wealthy corporations in the world, getting to use whatever energy they want? And we would say, no, that's not okay.
Those in support of data center growth highlight the economic opportunities that it would bring, especially in rural communities.
This moratorium will have a disparate impact on communities east of the Cascades, communities like Prineville, Hermiston, and Redmond that have leveraged E-zones, and data centers bring hundreds of living wage jobs to each of their communities.
Lawmakers have approved the one-year tax break moratorium, but it only applies to new data centers, not ones that already have tax breaks or ones currently in the works.
Now to an update on a story we first brought you yesterday on Sunrise. Ski resort operators say a bill that was supposed to simplify the rules around liability insurance is actually doing the opposite.
So Senate Bill 1517 would release resort operators from liability for skiers over the age of 18. It would also require a parent or guardian to sign a waiver releasing the resort from liability for kids. But ski resorts would still be on the hook for some injuries, including ones that happened in parking areas, lodges, or other parts of a resort. They would also be liable if there is gross negligence or if someone is injured due to poor equipment. But some businesses are saying the bill is too broadly written and would not be fair to them, adding that the bill creates too many exceptions and is keeping insurance companies on the sidelines.
This is a bill that actually will, in fact, move us forward as to dealing with issues around waivers and recreational activities.
Senate Bill 1517 is not a compromise. The bill as written is a dream scenario for trial lawyers and a disaster for recreation providers like me. We are not asking for a free pass.
The bill still needs to pass out of committee before heading to the House for a vote.
The state of Oregon is eyeing some gorgeous real estate in the Santiam State Forest. The Abiqua Foundation of Oregon owns Abiqua Falls, but both Oregon Democrats and Republicans are hoping they can acquire it. KGW's Joe Ranieri has the details.
You could describe Abiqua Falls as a hidden gem. It's located just east of Salem near Scotts Mills. A 92-foot waterfall is a big selling point. Right now, the Abbey owns it, but it's on the market, and some state lawmakers are hoping to snag it. The hardest part about getting to Abiqua Falls is driving to the trail, filled with potholes and very steep roads. Once you get there,
Great, beautiful, a little muddy, but nothing hurts.
it's an incredible sight. Last month, the Abbey Foundation of Oregon, which owns the property, put it on the market. Dr. Amanda Stagenborg, the director of communications with the Mount Angel Abbey and Seminary, said this in a statement. While we are proud of the many years of conservation and stewardship, it's time for the land to be protected under new ownership who can better serve the public interest. So who could be the new owners? The state of Oregon.
The general obligation bonds that were allocated in those budget bills are really the state's first steps to be involved in the process and to have those further conversations with stakeholders.
Bailey Langley is the district director for Representative Ben Bauman. She says lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are taking steps to acquire the property from the Abbey.
This definitely has been a bipartisan, bicameral effort. This will still have to pass the legislative process.
Langley says there could be a vote on this by the end of this week.
There's no official agreement or anything in writing, but we've had multiple meetings with the Abbey Foundation and sharing that vision for public access and public ownership.
That could decide the future of these falls.
As long as it's for good, I guess, more importantly, yeah. If it's preserved and it's here for everyone, that's the most important thing.
Along the trailhead of Abiqua Falls, Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
Oh my Lord, yeah, you can't make that up, can you?
So it's not something you see every day. One man is actually hurt after a boat crashed into a tree. This was near Tacoma, Washington and Gig Harbor last week. The sheriff's office says paramedics found an injured 54-year-old man inside. He went to the hospital and is expected to be okay. But deputies believe the boat was speeding along the shoreline during high tide when it crashed.
Ooh, that's scary stuff there. 8:10 this morning. Time to get a check of the forecast with Rod.
I'm sure the insurance company's going to have some questions on that.
I'm sure
You did
they will.
what?
The insurance company.
Yeah.
For the boat, right? I'm assuming
I was acting as the insurance company.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
What happened again? Tell me one more time. All right, here's the Astoria column camera. We have reports more than not of light moisture at the coast this morning, and obviously the cloud deck really low. This is from the Astoria column looking down over the Astoria-Meckler Bridge right there, 50 degrees, and it's pretty mild here in the valley as well. I do want to show you our Timberline camera. Just cloudy and quiet up there right now, 35 degrees. The moisture coming in tonight will begin as a rain-snow mix somewhere around 5,000 feet. So it should be all snow up at 6,000 at Timberline. The Lodge, all total tonight through tomorrow, could pick up 8 inches. Some of the modeling shows 9-10 inches of snow, so that's good news. Lesser amounts at pass level because, again, the moisture will start off as rain in Government Camp. This looks dry. The Oregon Zoo camera, 49 degrees. Up in the West Hills, 46 out in Hillsborough, 46 Wilsonville, Toronto's at 47. We've had reports this morning of some scattered misty areas or sprinkles from the low cloud deck, but generally most reporting sites just say, hey, we're cloudy and dry. Aurora, good morning, 48 is your number. This will be a nice day out east and in Central Oregon. Yesterday, Portland hit 62. Today, Madison, Bend around 60, partly sunny skies, mostly sunny out east during the day. 58 degrees in La Grande at 4 p.m. But the clouds will be solid here on the west side. And again, right now, much of the beach reporting some light moisture. That will be an ongoing threat for you folks. For Portland, I think we're mainly dry during the day. Today, we have the rain picking up shower-wise this evening and then a heavier rain band overnight tonight. Numerous showers tomorrow, kind of a gentle scattered shower day on Thursday. But you can see it's going to be a while before we get our next glimpse of sunshine. Here's Chris.
All right, Rod, thanks for that. The drive so far has been relatively tame for us this morning. This is I-5 near Capitol Highway, and it's always kind of tight northbound here from there up into the Terwilliger Curves, right? We expect that this hour of a Tuesday morning drive to the tune of about 25 minutes or so to get you in from Wilsonville. The drive in from Hillsborough, 23 minutes, so that's not so bad. A couple of other cameras here show the trip through North Portland. There's the I-5 southbound commute. That is by far the slowest stretch of Portland area freeway right now. And actually, all of this congestion on this drive time is on the Oregon side of the interstate bridge now. So it's about 16 minutes or so from bridge to bridge from the interstate down to the Fremont.
Americans are scrambling to get out of the Middle East as violence is growing across the region. I'm Alice Barr in Washington with the latest details coming up and the briefings all members of Congress are set to get today.
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
It's 8:15, trapped in nearly 1,000 feet in the air. That's how rescue crews in Texas found 2 experienced hot air balloon riders.
And both are safe and back home now. As Sam Brock shows us the moments after their balloon collided with a cell phone tower, it's something that you have to see to believe.
In heart-pounding moments high above the East Texas terrain, a pair of hot air ballooners were left clinging for life.
That basket is swinging and moving with them in it, and those gusts of wind.
Their canopy wrapped near the top of a 1,000-foot cell phone tower on Saturday, with a trio of drones capturing depth and critical information.
How many situations have you ever come across like this one?
None. This is pretty unprecedented.
But 14 members of the Longview Fire Department and rope rescue specialists Stephen Winchell and Cliff Patrick charged up the tower anyway, with a ladder only a foot wide.
Do you personally get nervous climbing that high, knowing what's standing in front of you?
Yes, most assuredly. I have been open about the fact. I reminded him maybe 500 or 600 feet up that I don't like heights.
Yet in those moments, the firefighters grabbed webbing from the terrified man and woman in the balloon, stabilized their canopy, and 2 hours later lifted them down to safety.
Once we had them secured to the tower, it was a great sigh of relief for me, knowing that the worst was behind everybody at that point.
A miracle maneuver of Texas-sized proportions. Sam Brock, NBC News.
Nope. 2 thumbs down.
You're not doing what? You're not hot air balloon? No, for you too?
Ever.
You ever done it?
No.
I will tell you this. I mean, obviously, if you don't like heights, you're probably not going to like it. But I will tell you this. It is amazingly still. It really is like you're just hanging out on a tree limb looking down. It's so peaceful.
Well, and so here's the thing. You walked in and you're like, it doesn't happen that often. And I agree. The thing is I have the fear that I will be like that 0.1%. I will be those people.
Yeah.
That's what will happen to me.
Because you have bad luck?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well.
I work with people who are no fun. Here's a look at our satellite radar photo. That's all I got. Here's our weather system for tonight. We've had kind of hours and hours of steady moisture being reported both in parts of the central and north coast this morning. So kind of a wet, drippy start for you folks. Inland, earlier this morning, we had some reports of some mist or some sprinkles from the low cloud deck. But basically, we believe will be dry during the day today in Portland overall. This is the front that comes in overnight tonight. It starts to pick up a reasonable chance of showers this evening, and then overnight tonight we get the solid rain band. These clouds, you can see them on the infrared satellite picture actually pushing all the way into Idaho, but they really get high and thin once they clear the Cascades. So pretty nice day for you folks out east today, and pretty nice day in Central Oregon as well. This is 1 o'clock this afternoon. The solid clouds here on the west side, ongoing threat of some light moisture during the day or anywhere along the coast. And then this shows the more legitimate chance of some measurable rainfall picking up starting late afternoon. And then here is the evening rain band. Now, I'm sorry, overnight rain band. This is actually 3 a.m. So the front comes in after midnight. Notice the yellow colors. This is heavy rain. You might hear this overnight tonight. Not much wind with it. I mean, maybe some southwest gust to 20, 25. That would be it. Here is tomorrow morning. The front is past, but still lit up on radar with waves of heavier shower activity pushing in. And then a pretty good scattered shower fetch during the day tomorrow. So if this is correct, there won't be many prolonged windows of dry time tomorrow. The rain will just keep coming and going. Now by Thursday, it all kind of settles down and we have more of just a typical light scattered shower threat. That was 1 p.m. Here's the wide view just to hammer home a nice day out east. And I wanted to show you that this front that comes in does hold together and push moisture all the way across into Baker City and the Blues by tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So total moisture is pretty good. Could be nearing 1/2 inch of rain all the way out in the Grand. This shows 8/10 in Detroit. Nearing 1/2 inch is a potential up and down I-5 and nearing 1 inch of rain along the coast. So that, again, overnight tonight, the heavy rain band, numerous showers tomorrow, lighter showers on Thursday. Cloudy skies, and you can see the cloud deck is low. It's nipping the west hills as we look from the Providence Park camera. 51 is the morning number there. 49 up in Kelso, 40 in the Dalles. You got to get out east to find freezing temps this morning. There's Baker City and Burns each at 30 degrees. 7-day forecast numbers. May not see the sun for a while now. The clouds today, 56. The numerous showers tomorrow. The fewer showers Thursday. Clouds and a light rain threat on Friday. The weekend might be a shower either day, but overall lots of dry time expected Saturday and Sunday at this point. Here's Chris.
Rod, let's talk about some road work. We're going to take you to Clark County up near the Battleground exit. In just about an hour and a half or so, WashDOT will be closing the southbound exit ramp from I-5 to SR 502 to do some guardrail repair, some pothole filling and whatnot. So just be aware of that 4-hour closure of that Battleground exit ramp. Also in the Rose Quarter, overnights each night this week, ODOT doing some preparation for more work in the Rose Quarter. There will be some northbound lane closures in and around the Fremont Bridge, basically from the I-405 exit ramp to the Greeley exit ramp. So be aware of that. That's overnight, of course. All right, the drive here and now, let's take you over to the east side, I-205, just south of Johnson Creek Boulevard. That northbound drive obviously running a little thick, but not bad. And right now the trip in from the east side, your 23 minutes gets you from Troutdale to I-5. So that's not too bad on the I-84 commute right now.
Chris, thank you. The KGW Great Food Drive is going on right now. Last year, the Oregon Food Bank distributed nearly 91 million meals, and our goal this year is to collect enough donations to provide 1 million meals to local people and families in need. And one way that you can help us do that is by donating online at kgw.com/food drive. Now, this is a great week to give because all week long, Rivermark Community Credit Union will match the first $5,000 donated. We want to thank local Toyota dealers, Pacific Office Automation, Rivermark Credit Union, and Safeway for supporting this year's food drive.
Some families in Washington are keeping a close eye on the Middle East as their loved ones head into the war zone. Who's preparing for combat after the break?
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
President Trump says it could take longer than a month to end Operation Epic Fury, but the death toll of American service members is growing.
The administration briefed top congressional leadership Monday on the attacks, and today all of Congress will get a briefing. Alice Barr has those details.
This morning, war in the Middle East is intensifying. The U.S. Embassy in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, struck by drones. A Saudi official tells NBC News no one was injured. Now, several U.S. embassies across the region are closing, ordering non-emergency personnel to leave, though thousands of flights are canceled, stranding American travelers.
All of a sudden, we're in the middle of a war zone.
Americans abroad and at home wondering how long the U.S.-Israeli military campaign against Iran will last.
We projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
This is not Iraq. This is not endless.
Now, in a new war powers notification to Congress, President Trump saying it's not possible to know the full scope and duration of the operation. Trump officials set to brief all of Congress today, as some leading Democrats who got early briefings argue Iran did not pose an imminent threat to the U.S.
There was a threat to Israel. But if we equate a threat to Israel as the equivalent of an imminent threat to the United States, then we are in uncharted territory.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying the administration knew Israel was preparing to strike Iran, and the U.S. acted first to prevent a chain reaction.
There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us.
With at least 6 American service members killed as Iran strikes back, the president is vowing to destroy Iran's missile capabilities and navy, ensure they can never get a nuclear weapon, and can no longer arm terrorists. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Meantime, we're learning troops from Western Washington are now involved in the military operation in the Middle East. The Navy released photos of a jet from the Naval Air Station on Whidbey Island now flying combat missions. As the jet heads into an active war zone, families across the island community are paying close attention. Families at the Naval Air Station have access to support services, including a network of local veterans offering resources.
The spring is around the corner, and we aren't the only ones ready for warmer weather. How plants are hoping the sun sticks around.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Good morning, I'm China Green. Portland Public Schools could soon be making even more cuts to next year's budget. That includes creating furlough days for some union members like paraeducators and secretaries. Union leadership told members if 2 furlough days are not accepted, 100 members could be laid off before the end of the school year. This comes as PPS faces a $10 million deficit for this fiscal year and another projected $50 million deficit for next year. Headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at weather.
Good morning. It is cloudy out there, coast to the valley, up into the mountains, out into the gorge. This is Seaside Live. Looks like a gentle surf coming in this morning. We've seen some specks of moisture from this vantage point. Much of the coast reporting some light moisture. It was a little drippy here, but now it looks like the cloud base has lifted a little bit, 49 degrees. Generally, this will be a dry day, just cloudy, 52 degrees at noon. The shower chances start late this afternoon. Really, it's tonight that we're looking for rain. Pretty good rain band overnight. Numerous showers tomorrow, especially a wet morning for your Wednesday. Gentle showers Thursday.
Good morning.
Ew.
Oh. British Columbia is adopting a permanent year-round daylight saving time. The time change is meant to improve people's overall health and provide an extra hour of evening light during the winter. Can we please do this? Back in the summer of 2019, the province conducted a public survey where 93% of people supported the move. Surprised it wasn't higher. The amendment goes into effect after this Sunday. This means that the province will be 1 hour ahead of us from November through March. And a reminder, clocks do spring forward on Sunday.
Now, we voted for that, I believe this is correct. Somebody did, and the overwhelming sentiment was if we're going to switch to one permanently, it would be daylight saving time.
But that's not what they want.
Unfortunately, the latest scuttlebutt has been, let's do the
opposite.
Which
because it's
nobody
easier to
asked
do because
for.
Congress doesn't have to approve, apparently,
Which
a move to standard time. But none of it makes any sense.
Nobody wants that.
I think the vast majority of people want it to be lighter out later in the day, not earlier in the morning.
And I'm sorry, did you say scuttlebutt?
I would say that.
Yeah, I think I did, yeah.
Scuttlebutt,
yeah, latest, yeah.
I
personally...
That's a new word?
I'm using that.
It's a new word.
You've never heard that?
No.
I mean, it doesn't get used often, but people are
I personally like it the way it is.
Make a list of
I think it does what it was meant to do. It puts us in our up hours, mostly in daylight. Because I don't need it to be, I mean, if we do switch, Matthew, then on this shift, it'll be pushing 9 o'clock in December before the sun comes up. So you'll have kids out at the bus stop, still getting to school.
I know, I do know that
dark
the kid,
and all of that.
I do know that that's the.
So, I mean, there's no perfect world, right?
No.
You don't want a 3:30 a.m. sunrise?
Yeah, I don't need that on standard time, that's for sure. All right, let's get you out the door. I said there's no perfect world. If you win the lottery, that's pretty close. Here's a look at our Salem sky camera. Cloudy skies, been dry here in terms of all the hourly reports. 50 degrees, it is comfortable. Speaking of a perfect world, here's the clouds over downtown Portland, 48 degrees, being reported as dry. Earlier this morning, we had reports of some sprinkles or some misty spots. Most of those reports, Chris is going to verify this moment. My eyes have seen most of those reports go away. Generally, it's going to be a cloudy day today, 52 degrees at noon. We start a reasonable scattered shower chance later this afternoon, but what we're tracking is a front that comes in overnight tonight, and that's when most of the rain will hit us. Overnight tonight, we'll have numerous showers and wake up tomorrow morning. But back to today. Beautiful day out east, mostly sunny skies. Some of you will hit 60. It shows Pendleton doing that. Kind of partly sunny to increasing clouds, but really nice in Central Oregon. Bent and Madras up to about 60, doing what we did yesterday when Portland hit 62. And then here on the west side, we have the clouds. And the moisture's been kind of nonstop over parts of the beaches this morning where it's been some light moisture falling. Generally, we're looking for a dry day with evening showers picking up to overnight rain. 56 the high. Numerous showers tomorrow. Some of it will be heavy, and then a gentle shower day on Thursday. Pretty much cloudy skies at this point expected into Friday. And the weekend still looks to be dry most hours during the daytime. All right, Chris, I said that from my eyes, most of those early reports of light moisture have gone away. What are you seeing?
I'm going to look really closely and see how many cars here have their windshield wipers going. Let's see. No. You're probably right. How's that? This is I-5 up near Columbia Boulevard. Still have some work to do on that southbound I-5 commute, but that said, not bad right now through North Portland. We'll switch gears real quick. Go Going once, going twice. Door number 2 takes us to the other side of town. This is near the Twilliger on-ramp to northbound I-5. That's still a little bit of a pinch point. But that said, the drive times you can see are really in pretty good shape this morning. Getting in from Wilsonville in 26 minutes. You get in less than 30, and I'd say you'd consider that a pretty good drive for this hour of a Tuesday morning commute. The red line here is mostly the congestion in North Portland. We are clear on the Vancouver side of the Interstate Bridge, but you'll hit the slowing, as I showed you, right around Columbia Boulevard. Matthew, back to you.
Chris, thank you. A high-stakes legal fight is underway over the federal government's use of tear gas at the ICE building. The question is whether a judge's order limiting officers from using chemical munitions should stay in place.
After months of demonstrations where tear gas and pepper balls were used, protesters filed a lawsuit claiming federal officers infringed on their constitutional rights to free speech. So the protesters' lawyers argued that federal officers have used excessive force here. They provided video evidence, including clips showing tear gas deployed during protests, agents using pepper spray at close range, and footage of a man struck in the head by a less lethal round. The Department of Homeland Security's lawyers argue DHS was not responding to protesters' messaging or viewpoints. They say agents were protecting the ICE building, and tear gas as well as other munitions are key tools to prevent violence and protect officers.
We have seen this in other cities and other places. What's the line between First Amendment legal protest and legal reaction by the federal government?
The hearing is expected to run 3 days. U.S. District Judge Michael Simon is expected to issue a decision soon after the testimony ends.
The Oregon House of Representatives has voted to pass the so-called Healthcare Without Fear Act. Now, this comes after the bill passed in the Senate last week. It aims to limit how federal immigration officers operate inside hospitals. The bill would require officers follow the same standards as local law enforcement in hospitals and require hospitals to create clear policies for interactions with law enforcement. It would also classify immigration status and place of birth as protected healthcare information.
You know, I don't want to see businesses fail. It's not good for any neighborhood.
In Vancouver, businesses in one of the city's most diverse areas are receiving a financial boost following recent federal immigration enforcement operations. Some businesses along 4th Plain Boulevard are reporting changes in customer activity. This month, Vancouver City Council approved a $300,000 grant program to help sustain struggling businesses in the International District. Each grant caps off at $10,000.
We're just very thankful of our Latin community and also the Americans that come in because they haven't left us alone.
Businesses in the district do not have to be immigrant-owned to apply, but they must meet certain qualifications, including having lost 40% or more in revenue over the past year. New this morning, we're learning Portland Public Schools could soon be making even more cuts to next year's budget.
Yeah, one union says furlough days could be on the table for its members. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz has more.
As you can imagine, union members are not happy. Now, the letter we obtained is from a union that represents paraeducators, secretaries, occupational therapists, and more. In the letter, the union leadership tells members if 2 furlough days are not accepted, 100 members could be laid off before the end of the school year, all due to a $10 million deficit from higher than expected costs. Portland Public already plans to slash $50 million in addition to these cuts, which could lead the district to axe almost 300 jobs. Right now, union leaders say it's unclear if these job slashes are a one-time thing or if there will be more of them in the future. And one paraeducator tells us even 2 furlough days has a really big impact.
We're the lowest, one of the lowest tiered incomes. So yeah, it's very impactful. 2 furlough days is, it's a significant amount of income based on what little we already live on.
In a statement, Portland Public Schools says there has been no definitive decision on furlough days or staff layoffs. A PPS spokesperson also tells us that they are working with labor partners to find the best way to shore up this mid-year deficit. In Northwest Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
The ACLU of Washington says a Stevenson city councilor will not be facing a recall effort thanks to a ruling from the Supreme Court.
Now, this stems from 2 incidents last year when Councilor Lucy Lauser demonstrated topless outside the Skamania County Courthouse to express opposition to policies affecting the transgender community. These are images from one of those demonstrations on July 4th. The recall petition says Lauser, quote, violated her oath of office by exposing her breasts in public. committing the crime of indecent exposure. The state Supreme Court ruled that nudity alone does not constitute indecent exposure and found Lauser's topless protest to be protected political expression, dismissing the recall effort. Now, Lauser released a statement writing in part, "I'm very happy that Washington Supreme Court affirmed my constitutional rights to free speech and expression and dismissed this recall against me. I will continue to use my rights and my platform to fight for a world where everyone is equal and everyone feels loved and respected for who they are."
It is 8:39. Time to head over to Chris for a look at the roads this morning.
Yeah, hey, heads up, guys. Just in from ODOT, they're telling us that the Lincoln City DMV is closed today due to staffing issues. So if you had some plans there, you're going to have to find another office. Maybe check DMV to you for the nearest location that you need to go in. Obviously, you can do a lot of stuff online now, but just wanted to give you the heads up on that. Let's take it back up to the Battleground area. A reminder here that the I-5 South exit ramp to SR 502, that's going to close at about 10 o'clock for 4 hours. So WashDOT can do some guardrail repair, pothole repair, etc. We talked about this earlier as well. Some overnight road work in the Rose Quarter on I-5. There'll be one lane closed overnight the next several evenings as ODOT gets prepared for that. There's your I-5 drive through North Portland. Still slow and steady, but again, this has not been a terribly bad morning commute thus far. And with the drive times all in yellow, Matt, yellow is better than red. Matthew, it's better than red.
It sure is. Thank you, Chris. Well, plants are just like us when it comes to wishing spring was here, why they're already starting to bloom after the break.
Hey everybody, here at ShopTVDeals.com, we love to bring you products out there that are actually going to make your life better. Let's keep it real. All of us have our entire lives on the phone these days. All those videos, all those photos, all of those memories, and you don't want to lose it because of a lost phone or a storage issue. So check this out. A small but mighty device, the Click-Free Pro. It's so easy to use. Let me show you what to do. First, you download an app on the phone. Just takes a minute or two. Super easy. Then you connect the device to your phone. It has all kinds of adapters here, so no matter what you have, you should be good. You open that app, and literally, with one touch, you start backing up all of those photos, which is a big help for people like me, because I got 15,000 photos in this thing. Also, not just about storage here. Think about all those old photos in your home, whether it's in an album like this, or just photos in a shoebox somewhere. There's a scan function on this app as well. So you literally can take one of those old pictures, use the app, scan it, and you'll never lose that image again. This does so much. It's absolutely amazing. No membership fees, no subscriptions, so it's super easy and will save you a lot of problems. And on top of that, 50% off. We have an amazing deal. Normally this would cost you $200. Today you get it for less than $100. So scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen or check us out online at ShopTVDeals.com. Back up those photos now. Don't lose them.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Probably noticed it's starting to feel a lot more like spring with temperatures pushing into the 60s this week. Plants appear to be noticing that as well, with some already starting to bloom.
Yes, but that could be a problem for some plants in the Northwest. Audrey Tackett with our Environment Northwest team takes a look at this false spring.
It really has a lot to do with temperature.
Each spring, plants wake up on cue because of warming temperatures and more daylight. But this year, it's happening earlier than usual.
The plant gets excited about springtime and starts to then put energy into producing flowers, growing their buds.
Colin Lyman is an expert in horticulture. He says the risk comes when a premature green-up is followed by another freeze.
It could freeze that flower off, and then we could not see as many blooms on our trees or shrubs as we normally would if we didn't have a false spring throughout the winter.
Petals can die, fruit production could be lost for the season, or entire plants can be damaged. That same pattern is playing out across winter feeding ground and native habitat.
If you're looking up at the foothills and you're seeing like a green hue to it right now, it's probably going to be that cheatgrass that most people are noticing. Good in the short term, bad in the long term.
In the short term, invasive plants like cheatgrass that thrive in these conditions can give wintering wildlife something to eat. But over time, it degrades the habitat they depend on.
Once those ground temperatures start to approach 50 degrees, we start to see our invasives tend to take off and get more of a foothold over our native species.
Native plants are built to withstand occasional freeze-thaw cycles. But if a hard freeze hits after flowering begins, it can damage blossoms, reduce berry production, and limit food sources for pollinators.
Additionally, the roots are just growing at a period when our native plants aren't growing, so they are getting a head start.
And when one species dominates, the habitat loses the diversity that wildlife need to survive.
Cheatgrass does have nutritional content, but the issue with it is that it really only has it when it's between 0 and 3 inches. After that, it's pretty much useless to wildlife.
For now, cheatgrass has given wintering animals a short-term nutritional bump.
Back in January, we actually found that some of them were significantly heavier than they were last year.
What happens next depends on whether spring moisture can sustain native forage through the year, and whether false spring conditions keep giving invasive species the upper hand.
Under the soil, it's a battle for resources.
For Environment Northwest, I'm Audrey Tackett.
Well, earlier this morning on Sunrise, we asked you to share your lunar eclipse photos, and viewer Thomas sent us this photo saying the clouds broke around 4 a.m. and they were able to capture the eclipse. And then Julie sent us this pic from Salem. That's a good one. She says that she took it around 3 a.m. Keep on sending us your pictures if you have them.
It wasn't
good to see.
Wasn't the best day to see. We have Rod Hill up on our weather deck, the KGW weather deck this morning. Are you seeing any sun and are you cold, sir?
Well, the breeze is definitely, if I turn this way, this is the south wind hitting me. So there's a chilly breeze to probably 10 miles an hour. No sun, complete solid overcast across the area. As you mentioned, I'm up here in the KGW weather deck brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. I love that photo that came up from Salem, taken at 3 o'clock. The totality of the lunar eclipse last night was right around 3:30. So 30 minutes later, we may have seen the entire disk of the moon as red. That ended before the 6:30 half hour this morning. And as it went along, we eventually kind of clouded over. And that brings me to our satellite picture, which shows us clouding over. We have had pretty consistent reports of light moisture up and down the coast. Earlier this morning, some kind of spatterings of some light moisture from the low cloud deck here in the Portland area and up into Vancouver. But generally, once you get inland, this will just be a cloudy, dry day, and that's what Futurecast shows. Here we are at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Now notice the sun, central and eastern areas of our state, where some of you will get up to 60. Portland hit 62 yesterday. All right, here is the more notable rain chance beginning late this afternoon in the 5 o'clock hour. You're looking at the green areas. Shows a shower approaching up around Longview potentially. What we're mainly tracking is a front that comes in overnight tonight and brings us this solid rain band, including some heavier rain rates that you might hear in the middle of the night. This is around 3 a.m. as that moves through. Now, tomorrow morning when we get our Wednesday started, the front will be through, but this does show some continued heavier shower bands moving across. So especially wet tomorrow morning, but even later in the day, here we are at 4 o'clock, still a very active scattered shower pattern that could include some heftier downpours coming through the area as well. There's some more gentle showers on Thursday. It doesn't look like we're going to get much of any sun from now moving forward all the way into Friday at this point. The rain amounts from overnight tonight and then the showery weather through the day tomorrow. This shows about 9/10 in Lincoln City and Tillamook. Upwards of about a half of an inch could come through Portland, Salem, and Vancouver up into Kelso, Longview, and about the same amounts out over La Grande into central Oregon. All right, temperatures out the door right now. So it's a pretty quiet day overall until the rain really gets going tonight. It's 50 in Salem right now, 48 degrees in Portland. So yeah, it's not really chilly out. I mean, the breeze makes it a little chilly, but really it's pretty nice. Ongoing chance of some light moisture for you folks at the coast today, then the heavier rain coming in tonight. Your valley forecast numbers, about 56 under the clouds. I mean, it's 50 in Salem right now, so a pretty comfortable day overall. And there's our 7-day. I mentioned not much sun in the coming days. Any rain on Thursday and Friday will be light amounts. And the weekend still looks to be mainly dry with a shower chance. All right, we have a big birthday party to get to on this Tuesday. All begins with Teddy. Here comes Teddy 1 today. Hey, happy birthday to you. Monty is 3 today. Happy birthday to you. Love the big smiles. Ronan, who is part of our KGW family, his father is our news director. Hi, Ronan. Basketball hooper, looks like, 6 years old today. Beckett is 9. Happy birthday to you. Jasper celebrating 11 years old today. Happy birthday. And then we jump all the way to Amber, who's 54 years young. Great shot there. Happy birthday. That's wonderful. Here's Steve, who's 59. Happy birthday to you. Mark, 75 years young. Happy birthday out there at the coast. And Bob is 78 today. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a wonderful day. That's our list. Birthdays at KGW.com, and we will celebrate with you. Here is Chris McGinnis.
All right, thank you for that, Rod. Let's get you out the door. We'll take you to North Portland, I-5 up near Columbia Boulevard. Still, you know what? Like literally 60 seconds ago, there was a little bit of a light up there. Whatever it was causing that light up has moved on out. So there, don't say I didn't do anything for you. The drive coming out of Clark County still needs a little help, though. 18 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. I-205 south, busy but moving. Here's I-5 on the other side of town, rolling northbound from the Twilliger curves. And a quick check of the Sylvan Hill. Highway 26 still busy there as well. Right now you're driving from Hillsborough, checking in about 20 minutes. We'll be right back.
I'm David Mulco, the evening anchor at KGW. Though when I'm not working, I like to spend as much time as possible out here in nature. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. You see, what happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to talk about it, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
wrap up our top stories this morning. Oregon lawmakers have voted to move the transportation tax referendum to the May ballot instead of the November one. Yesterday, Governor Kotek signed that bill into law. Republicans have argued that that the May primary has lower voter turnout, calling it a political ploy to try and defeat the referendum. Democrats want to have the vote happen in May, arguing it gives voters the chance to weigh in sooner. The conflict in the Middle East could affect this summer's World Cup as Iran's soccer team is scheduled to play Egypt in Seattle on June 26. The president of Iran Soccer Federation is considering keeping his team out of the United States and is reportedly hoping to play in Mexico instead. Fans from Iran were already barred from entering the U.S. due to an earlier Trump administration travel ban. And Portland Public Schools could soon be making even more cuts to next year's budget. That includes creating furlough days for some union members like paraeducators and secretaries. Union leadership told members if 2 furlough days are not accepted, 100 members could be laid off before the end of the school year. This comes as PPS faces a $10 million deficit for this fiscal year and another projected $50 million deficit for next year.
Cloudy and generally dry during much of the day on this Tuesday here in the Rose City. We get up to about 56 degrees. Later this afternoon, we start a realistic chance of some showers. Mostly we're tracking rain overnight tonight. Pretty busy shower day on Wednesday to follow.
So get ready for that for your morning commute tomorrow, I guess. But right now, our drive has actually been and has been pretty kind to us so far. We haven't had any major freeway trouble out there. There's a live look at some of our freeway cameras. Drive times right now, getting in from Hillsborough in less than 20, that's not bad. Getting in from Troutdale, 31 minutes, that's a little slow coming through the Gateway District, but again, pretty manageable out there.
All right, good deal. Not a whole lot of sunshine on that 7-day there, Rod.
No, I mean, Thursday we might get a sun break, but the modeling likes us just staying cloudy all the way through Friday at this point.
All righty. Well,
July through September, though, there's like not a cloud in the sky, so it's a little
pretty nice.
It balances out.
Can't wait. Hey, a reminder, you can watch sunrise every day live exclusively here on KGW Plus starting at 7 o'clock. We also have added another half hour of news at 12:30 and 5:30 right here on Plus. We hope to see you then. Have a great day, everyone.